Friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, thank you guys for being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. It doesn't work without you guys. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up here, guys. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay, so, I know we are having DAC fatigue, because we are tired of talking about the contract. But listen, this thing's key. This is the basically your season and your future rides on this. And of course, the Joneses love to have the drama that goes along with this. This is no different than D-Law getting his, franchise tag last year and holding the team hostage, for shoulder surgery and things. And I still say messing up the season for himself, as well as Zeke Elliott. But, the Cowboys, they are what they are, and we shouldn't expect anything different than what they've done. But see, what I like to do here is understand, first of all, that when you talk about football and you try to figure out what's what and who's who and predict what's going to happen, it's damn near impossible. Sometimes you just get lucky. Let's be honest here. Mel Kiper has been doing this stuff forever, and he talked about how Josh Rosen was one of the best quarterback NFL-ready guys in the NFL draft. Yeah. How'd that work out? He said that Russell Wilson, if you need a backup quarterback, Russell Wilson, only for a few games now, Russell Wilson might fit the bill. So, these are guys that are paid to be experts. Now, what I always try and do is I try to, because I've got an analytical mind, try and put together the pieces and come up with an outcome. And it's funny because a lot of times I will say things to people, and people will come through and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no credibility. You just pulled that out your ass. But what I've been trying to tell you guys for so long is we're sitting here fighting about Dak Prescott. He can't be the highest paid, even though, just 2 years ago, Kirk Cousins was, and now he's 7th highest. Here's the amazing thing about Kirk Cousins. Well, no, actually, I tell you what. Before I go to Kirk Cousins, I want to go to Jeffrey over here, to Jeffrey time, because he reiterated exactly what I've been saying. I have gone through and said, listen, the CBA is going to change everything. That when they talk about the NFL players getting $5 billion at least over the next 10 years, that equates to $500 million a year, or on the salary cap, you're talking about an additional $15 million a year just from that. And that's before we add into the revenues for gambling, before we add into the revenues from a new television contract. It is going to blow up, and I said I guarantee within 2 years that'll be over $250 million, which may be conservative, because let's listen to Jeffrey and his take on what I've been telling you guys for a while.
Your deal instead of a long-term deal. Could this be a Tom Brady-like discount? So we can pay other players, but short-term. Okay, here is what Dak Prescott wants, and here's what's happening with a lot of players in the league. What's happening is, as my buddy Brian Broaddus told you yesterday, if you were listening to G-Bag Nation, 2 to 7 on 105.3 The Fan, what's happening is Broaddus was told by someone that would be in the know that there are people who think the salary cap in 2027 could be $425 million. So the salary cap right now is going to be right around $200 million somewhere. So in the course of 7 years, they're anticipating that it's going to more than double. So if quarterbacks right now are getting $35 million for Russell Wilson, then 7 years from now, it's not impossible that quarterbacks are going to be getting $70 million. And maybe more, because the quarterback's percentage of the cap is actually going up faster than the cap is right now. So you may have $70 million a year players, which sounds crazy, but welcome to sports. What sounds crazy soon becomes not crazy. So what's going on with Dak and the Cowboys? The Cowboys, what they want to do is lock Dak Prescott into a deal that is long-term. Say 6 years. I'm throwing around numbers that I don't know for sure, but what they want to do is get Dak locked in, and let's say they make the concession. All right, here's $37 million a year. You're the highest paid player in the NFL because you're a quarterback and it's your turn, and that's the way it goes, right? Let's say they do that. They want to have that for 6 years. Now, when does guaranteed money run out on that? usually around 3 years, maybe 3.5. So then what the team really has is 3 years where it's a team option. I could cut you, I could trade you, I could do anything and not take a cap hit. This money is no longer guaranteed, and you can't get a raise. So Dak and a lot of other NFL players right now, they know that the next CBA, that's where the salary cap is going. So they don't want to be locked into where the team has the right to tell you, oh, yeah, sure, you can still have your same salary from 3-4 years ago. They want to be out from under that contract and on to the next one. So that's what they're going to fight over.
Okay. So, back to Kirk Cousins. Because here's the thing. Here's where it gets interesting. So many people out there, you can't make Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback. You know, he's not the best quarterback. He's the middle of the road. It's got a hamstring. And I keep telling you guys, you're fighting over something that is going to be minuscule. Again, Kirk Cousins, he wasn't anywhere close to being the best quarterback in the NFL. Lord knows, if you talk about wins and losses, he's got 1 playoff win. And Lord knows he's got 6, count them, 6 losses to Dak Prescott to 1 victory. His record, as far as wins, it's right around 500. Yet he was the highest paid just 2 years ago. Now here's the interesting thing, because we say you can't pay him. He should take a team discount because he's the face of the Dallas Cowboys. But we know, as I've been telling you, and now Jeffrey reiterates what I've said, that the salary cap is going to go through the moon. In fact, the salary cap, if they sign the CBA, will go up more than the $200 million already this year. It's going to include this year. There'll be more money this year to spend. And that means next year, when it's been going up, and let's look at the numbers so you know I'm not BSing you. Think about, since the last CBA happened, 2011, it was 2012, it was 120.6 million. It went up to 123, 133, 143, 155, 167, 177, 188, and right now it stands at 200 million. And that's before the new deal, before the new television contract, before the new revenue that's going to come in from gambling. All of those things are going to go through. Oh, and a 17th game. Yeah. It's going to explode. And so now back to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, who has 1 playoff victory in his name, 1. Was with the Redskins, didn't do it with the Redskins. Took a team that was at the NFC Championship the year before, had a losing record the next year, made the playoffs this year, had a great season. But you look at that and say, okay, you know, he got the first guaranteed contract in the NFL, 3 years deal. And he still has a year left. And what Minnesota is looking at right now and saying, you know what, let's do an extension for Kirk Cousins for a couple of reasons. One, they have the lowest cap space in the NFL at like $1.5 million. 2, to hold on to him because they say, okay, he's pretty good. We don't see something better, right? And 3, it gives us cap relief right now. And so after making $88 million, guaranteed, $88 million for 3 years, and this contract right now is 7th in the NFL, 7th, and probably going to drop because Pat Mahomes is going to get his, Dak's going to get his, Deshaun Watson. This contract by the beginning of the season will be at least 10th unless he gets renegotiated. So here's where you look at this and say, well, you know, Kirk Cousins, with the money you'll make guaranteed this year, the money you made already from us, the money you made in Washington, you will have made $128 million. Wow. And you got 1 playoff win. How about you take a discount so we can try and win it all? You got a fully guaranteed contract from us. How about a home team discount? I'm going to wait to hear anybody say that Kirk Cousins should take a discount. And this is why players now are looking and saying, you know what? I want that 3-year deal. Because as the cap goes up, I want my money to go up with it. It's nothing personal. It's not about allegiance to the teams. It's business. And understand, as that salary cap goes up, it doesn't just go up for the players. The owners get 53% of the gross revenue. So when the salary cap goes up $10 million for the players, it's going up about $11 million for the owners, for each owner. They're not hurting. They're not hurting. So that's where we are with all the situation, and the reason why Dak Prescott's saying, you know what, I've only made $4 million. I shouldn't be the one to take a discount. Not when D-Law did. Not when Zeke Elliott didn't. And I can guarantee you, after having $128 million, Kirk Cousins won't take a discount, and neither will anybody else. So stop looking at this and Dak Prescott shouldn't be the highest paid, and he doesn't deserve him. Franchise tag him, because here is one other piece for you. You can franchise tag him and make him play this year under that franchise tag, and say Dak Prescott goes through, has a great season and all that. When you try to then do the contract after you spent $33 to $35 million, possibly, if the CBA is ratified, on that franchise tag, when the salary cap goes up because of the new CBA and television contract to probably say, normal appreciation is right now $12 million, and if the other thing goes through, we know that's a minimum of 15. So we're looking at about 230. When you see that number, and you see he's already gotten the franchise tag money, and then you see Deshaun Watson, you see, Pat Mahomes, you see Kirk Cousins getting his deal, and then you got the Josh Allens out there, and those guys that are going to get paid too. What you may be looking at then, if you decide to get a long-term deal, because he has played lights out, betting on himself, you might be looking at about $45 million a year. That's the reality. Just think about it. 2 years ago, we were talking about 28 being the highest paid. Right now, it's 35. And that's before the new deal goes in. So, it's one of those things. You can pay me now or you can pay me later, but one way or the other, that gonna get paid. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys later.